How can a piece of green candy look so hot? This machine is a Simplicity Denim Star. I bought it, oh geez, close to probably 17, 15, 7, 16, I don't know, something years ago. It was discontinued at Walmart a long time ago. And geez, a lot of problems with it. I was actually looking at sewing machines the other day, and Singer makes a heavy duty, has 17 stitches, which is about what this one does, for a couple $100. I think if I'd like, well, I don't think it's going to happen because I don't have any money. But I'd love to be able to afford that that machine. I believe it actually has a metal case on the heavy-duty machine. And while there are a lot of fancy stitches on this machine, I've always believed that for just basic sewing, as long as you have a straight stitch and a zigzag, you don't need all those fancy stitches. Well, they do come in handy for some things. I'm not a professional tailor or seam sewer. Obviously not a seamstress, since there's no female in me. But I do quite. Okay, that didn't. That I don't know. I took this apart the other night, and I had the whole thing fall out. I'm not sure I got it put back together, and I can't find the book for the machine to figure out, to know how all this around the bobbin goes together. I'm going to see if I can make this work. If not, I don't really know. It's late, and I don't have any timekeeping device. I've got to unpick this anyway. I'll get back to it. Until then, we'll go from there. Getting to the end of this, I unpicked it back to where almost, maybe 18 inches was all that was left stitched. Now I'm just finishing this first straight stitch. Then I'm going to actually do the other one before I pin or I guess clip the other towel onto it. There's where I was that I unpicked back to, maybe close to 2 feet, but not very much. Actually, come to think of it, I probably ought to do the zigzag on this before it gets too heavy from the other one. Maybe I'll go there for now. There's the first side zigzag down. This side still needs to be sewn. There's only one minor problem. Running out of thread. This is an old spool of thread. It's actually still wooden. Now they're mostly plastic. I haven't seen a wooden one in a long time. That's one that Mom gave me when I got my sewing machine to help me set up a quick sewing kit. But I guess I'm going to have to locate me some black. She doesn't have enough here for me to use hers for more than just handwork, so I think I'm going to have to find some black thread. But I did get the one seam done the one zigzag seam done to hold that down, and it does make a huge difference keeping that down. So I'll get this other one done and go from there. Well, get some thread and then get it done. Well, I ran to wonderful Walmart. They had a week or so ago, they had 20 threads for just a few dollars, multiple colors. Went there today, and they had this one that's 10 threads. Looks like 2 black, a gray, a brown, navy blue, sky blue, red, couple whites, and an off-white. And that was almost $4, but I need the black, so I got it anyway. Also, those are 200-yard spools. The 300-yard spools are 227, I believe. This one, which is for a serger, is 3,000 yards, was 274, 247. I don't know the difference between serger thread other than the way it's got the cone. They make an adapter to put that on a regular machine, but 3,000 yards for only 20 cents more. Well, 10 times as much for only 20 cents more. I'm going to try to make that work. But in the meantime, I'm going to use the black that's here. Had a bit of a problem recently with this project with the blankets. The sewing machine hasn't been wanting to work, and it's because of the temperature. This is Mom's sewing room, and Mom actually has a little ceramic heater that I've got out to use for the winter to keep the machine so that I can use it. It had to run for about 45 minutes this morning before it was warm enough to have the machine be happy. It's warm enough outside, but it's too cool in here. And since the machine's in here, not outside, I've been doing it in here. The other one I just did, I had the bobbin thread have some issues a couple of times, so I've put it over there. We're cleaning, so ignore the mess. But this one, I just did a new bobbin, and gonna fold these over and do the zigzags, and that'll complete this, all but doing these up here at the top. I've got to unpick the other one, but I am still working on it. I just been a little bit busy on other things and had to get the heater out. I didn't know where it was. Mom finally told me this morning where it was so that I could get it out. But I'm still on it, just slowly. Well, I've taken off my protective wear, my hoodie, because it's too hot in here with the heat going, or at least too hot for me. And the sizing on this is just making me itch, and I'm itching myself raw. I guess I should have washed these before I started working on them, but I didn't. I'm almost finished with this one. All I'll have left to do shortly is just to finish up these, which is somewhat of a job, but I should be able to get that done. But just an update of me being allergic. Well, there's the third, I think, needle that I've broken on this project. Got a couple more of the right size. I've just put the one in to replace it. Trying to do these, I might be better off just hand sewing these over this because it is such a lot of wear and tear on the machine. And I'm running out of needles. These I've had for years, but trying to find where the needle went when it broke. It's somewhere under here. Maybe it went through that hole in the back. Probably did. Yeah, I guess I'm going to do this by hand. But I need to get this done, and there's hand stitching to be done on this, so I might as well just do it all by hand and save needles. And then I've got to unpick the other one, which is here. I'm actually going to blow out the bobbin here. It's got some lint in it. But there's another broken needle, and me going to hand sewing. If I can find this needle. That's the next, is thread that one and go from there. It's just not worth it to keep breaking needles. I actually had somebody tell me one time, 1 needle per project. And the last one I think was 2 or 3 needles, and this is the second needle I just put in. So I don't want to keep going through needles, but I'm going to put this back together and go on to hand sewing, and before I start unpicking that other one again. Well, there's the blanket. These are the seams here. They're kind of obvious, but not overly. But that's almost 10 feet long, and 6 feet wide. This one was actually the third one. It's the second one. It's now completed, all the hand sewing and everything. I'm actually going to unpick the other one and get it finished, and I'll wash them both before I attempt to sleep in them with the issues I had with the sizing earlier on this one. Or whichever one I was working on. I think it was this one. But I think that's it for now. Hey, if you enjoyed, that's great. If not, hey, that's okay too.